Welcome everyone. I had a great time completing my Everyday in May challenge last month, and I had a number of people ask me, both during and after the challenge, hey Greg, how exactly are you creating all these videos? So I wanted to take some time today to show you exactly what's going on behind the scenes, so that maybe, just maybe, you might feel inspired to create your own videos. You ready? Let's check it out. You guys asked for it? You ready? Let me get started making a video right now. Let's do it. So the first thing I'm doing is getting set up. I'm opening my template, pre-existing. I'm checking my camera and lighting setup. I'm filming my intro. This gets me going. Before, it's whiteboard time. Now, whiteboard time is really where the rubber hits the road for me and where I'm spending most of my time. And that's because these kind of longer form 5-minute or so videos I've been putting together recently, these are really complex ideas and they're hard to speak very directly and pointedly about in a short period of time without kind of a lot of iterating and polishing. So I'm sitting here and I'm iterating and polishing away, really spending a lot of time on the whiteboard when I'm making videos like this. So, you know, your special sauce might be something a little bit different, but this is really where the creation is brought into being. So I've conceptualized it before I even started this thing, and now I'm just kind of forcing it to come to fruition. So while a few days ago Greg keeps polishing away here, I want to just point out that sometimes I use Notion to kind of just pull in, you know, icons that help drive the point home, and I'll just have a Notion page open right there, just pull them right in, copy paste into the whiteboard and keep going. You'll notice there's also a lot of sort of backing up, Control-Zing on the whiteboard, and trying to align that in the Camtasia software is something that's really important to do as well, so it looks really flawless, really clean when I'm done. Let's take a minute while Greg keeps polishing away here to talk about the file folder structure that I actually use. I always set it up so I have sort of a folder for copy, and then a folder for design, and then a folder for production. So I'm essentially working in the folder for production most of the time. The design folder comes in as well as the copy folder at the very tail end of my process. And, you know, I guess I could also kind of mention that generally these videos are taking me something like an hour and a half, 2 hours for, 1 to 2 minute videos. For these 5-minute videos, especially for very complex ideas that I have some refining to do on, these are taking me more like 2 hours, 2.5 hours, in the worst case something like 3 hours. So in terms of best practices, there are a number of things I might point out. For example, transitions. I would say always stick to fade to black and just simple fades, because fade to black will fade the entire screen to black, and sometimes you don't want that. As you'll notice with my head moving around the screen in this video, that's just a simple fade. I really just kind of leverage the simple built-in bottom thirds, simple intros, simple outros. I would recommend starting with those things if you're just kind of getting up and running with Camtasia, and even just start with the music tracks that are inside of Camtasia. I've actually started to move from the music tracks inside Camtasia, started to get into Spotify, and then started to realize, well, actually maybe I should do kind of open source music as much as possible, and I've started to use the YouTube audio library. So I'll put the link in the description below for that if you're interested. Okay, so wrapping this thing up, I'm on the last sort of steps here, watching my intro, getting the music picked out and lined up with the intro, maybe the outro, getting the copy done, and the design is really just an exported frame from Camtasia with a whiteboard snippet put together in PowerPoint and then resized. And really, that's a wrap, folks. Next step, watch it, make sure everything's good to go, and share with all of you fine people out on the interwebs. See you next time. Thanks all. So that's all there is to it. I hope this video was useful for you, answered some of your questions, and gives you some fuel to go create. If you want to know more about the exact audio, video, lighting, etc., hardware and software that I use, check out the link in the description below, where I've created a Notion page complete with links and pricing for you to get started, just like I have. If you have other questions, please feel free to leave them in the comments section, and I'll definitely get back with you real soon.